Hello guys, this is Paula and I am back to show you guys something I discovered from one of my design team members with Tracy Fox Love Journals. She had told everyone on a video that she had found some really cool envelopes in the dollar spot. So, you're looking at one right now that I have collaged. These are gray when you get them. They're in the dollar spot at Target, and they're $1 a pack, and I think you get 15 to a pack. And they have them in this color with a window, which is gray, or solid, which is khaki. Now I'm going to show you those. And we're going to do another one of the window ones together. So I'm going to lay that out. So as you can see right here, it's something about planting. It has to do with planting and when you purchase the plant and seed type and the variety and all that kind of stuff. They're both for that sort of thing. And I guess this one is where you put a picture of your plant. And then there's this one. It's exactly the same. It just doesn't have the window. Okay, so what I'm thinking is that we can do another one like this because it was pretty fun. Something I will tell you I wouldn't do is whenever you open and close it. Let me take my little clip off here. Or paper clip, yeah. It does have a little flap that opens and closes. Just be careful how you cover this, because if you cover where the seam is, I had to go in and cut it out because it just doesn't like it. And same here on top. If you wrap it over, it's not gonna, I mean, this has been wrapped over, but if I had it to do again, I wouldn't do it that way. So, and I am gonna do it again. Let me show you the back of the envelope. This is some old paper I had that had some stitching on it. And yeah. So you could turn it either way. I put it this way because it reminded me of a mailer envelope. But looking at it now, I wouldn't do it that way because of the letters are facing up here. So, you know, you learn. And this is a Mrs. Cog in the Pink in the Garden photo there. Yeah, so let's get started. This was lots of fun. I think it was way more fun than just covering a plain envelope, you know. And it is a little more work around the windows, you know, because it's not very wide. But I'm going to see if you can see right there if I set it to the side. Well, maybe on this side you can. I've got you zoomed in because I know that it's easier to see close up. And I did a video the other day with some collaging, not collaging, hello, with making some different shape collages. I guess it was a collage. Anyway, now that I think about it. So I'm going to flip this over on the back, and we'll work on the back first because it goes a little faster. Now, personally, when I do this sort of thing, I fix it where I can journal on the back. And I think that's what a lot of people do. And so I'm just going to tear this long piece of paper. I'm wanting it to go a little faster. This is almost the whole length. So, since this end is torn, let's go ahead and put it down this way, right where the opening of the envelope is. Now, I'm looking here. I do not ink as I go. I ink afterwards, and I think it looks just fine. It's a lot of work to ink these pieces as you go because, you know, it's just time consuming. So you want to really, if you want your collage to stay, you want to load it down with, because I've been having things that will pop up, and I don't want that to happen. I don't know about any of the rest of you, if you've had stuff that pops up or not, but run over to your local Target and get you some. I bought probably about 4 packs of each of these, you know, to last me. You know, I was a pig, but I didn't take them all. So there was still about 10 left, I think. Okay, so that's our first collage piece. I want it to be where we can journal. And actually, if we want to do it this way this time, we can. Let's do that. How about we do it? Since I put the lettering this way on the last one, which really I should have looked at that, because I've got a thing about stuff being in the upright position. I know it's not that big a deal, but it's a big deal to me. So I'm going to just do like I did last time, since I've got Mrs. Cog's images. I'm going to use a little bit of blue and a little bit of pink so that I can get, you know, I don't want to have to trim around the outside if I don't have to. Do you know what I mean? If I can get a straight edge, I will do that. Me collaging, doing collage is really tough on my thumb. That I had surgery on it just does not like it. It wants to be left alone. I'm thinking, or maybe I'll just do like this and see how it turns out. Now, I do get a big clump of glue every now and then because I get pretty aggressive. But you know what? My husband bought me a whole case of this, this glue when he bought it. I asked him to order me 2. He ordered me a case. What can I say? He's a good man. He said, I figure you'll use it. I'm like, yeah, I probably will. And so I've been using it, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to do just different kinds of journaling paper that I have kind of around. Just scraps. Now, maybe I'll put that on the edge too, now that I look at it. Excuse me. So Charlie has had a good time at Grammy and Pawpaw's this week. Tonight, he spends the night one more time tonight. And then Mommy and Daddy will be home after school tomorrow. And he's ready, but he's not ready. He told me, he says, I want Mommy and Daddy to go to the moon. I want to stay with you forever. Of course, I thought that was absolutely precious. And I wanted to say, well, if you want to stay with me, it's happening. But I didn't, because that wouldn't be very nice. He's precious. But boy, last night his little joints, he still needs prayer for his little joints, guys. They're weaning him off of the steroids in hopes that they can put him on a different medication, because his last biopsy, he's had one since the one I told you about. His last biopsy shows that his liver is healed, which is a praise the Lord. But still, he needs to be able to get off the steroids. He can't live on those the rest of his life, and he's been on them for a couple years. So they have to keep him on them for lots of reasons. But they're wanting to let his immune system come in, which they feel like it's going to happen, which is another praise the Lord. So we're just trying to get him off of the steroids so his immune system can kick in. It's very, very, very complicated. It's hard to even explain what it's all about because it's definitely a complicated illness that he has been. Well, I thought I was going to be able to get that there, but maybe not. Let's go ahead and put this piece there. Tea stain paper. I like to use the back as the area for journaling, and I think most of us have been doing it that way. I'm gonna tear that right there. I think I want it to be shorter. Maybe we'll do it like that. And then we'll put one big one over there. Let's see if I have any more with string. I do. Let's see. It's kind of hard to tear when it has the string. You sometimes have to kind of, not string, but thread. Sometimes have to, no, but it's got that straight edge. Need to take that off. I don't like the edges to be straight unless it's on the back. I mean, on the edge of the book. Okay, let's go down this way. Trying to get this area covered, and sometimes it's hard to get it torn just right to cover the area you want to cover. I got it crooked, and I like my lines to be straight too, or as straight as I can. I'll put it that way. It's not always easy to do. Okay, and now I have a little pink. Let's just use this little pink of, looks like some kind of planner page, or oh no, that's not going to be wide enough. Dumping that idea as we speak. Okay. One more piece right here. With a little bit of pink. Maybe we'll do it this way. There we go. Okay. Now, the next thing we do is flip it over. Well, wait a minute. You know what? Right there's a corner. Don't think I'm crazy, but we got to fill that corner. So let's do it like that. It's just a speck, is what my kids would say. Mom, it's just a speck. But I want it to not show the gray any more than necessary. Are you guys that way too? We get picky, don't we? Well, and then it didn't even lay down right. It moved whenever I was shifting. It shifted when I was moving, when I was doing the rubbing on. Okay, now this side is a little more interesting. So I think I'm going to use some of Gail's, some of her digitals that she has in her shop. I like this pink and blue, or pink and green right here. So I'm going to put it down one side of the, and I'm going to go ahead and tear because I didn't last time and I had to end up using more paper than what was necessary, you know, because it was, you don't have that big of a space right there. Let me fold this so you know what I'm talking about. You don't have that big a space right here. Last time I just added something straight. And I think this time I'm going to kind of let it hang over the window portion. I think that'd be better. So, get my glue going here. Let me make sure you guys can still see. I kind of moved around. And I want to make sure. There we go. All right. So I hope you guys have stayed busy doing your crafts today. That's all I've been doing. I've been prepping for different things that I want to do with you guys. In between doing things I want to do with you guys, or doing a prototype or something. You know how that is. Okay, I'm going to try to get that lined up right there. Okay. Awesome. There we go. I like the way that looks. Good job, Gail. These are really, I haven't used them yet other than this last one. I used one right here, but it ended up getting covered because I had left the straight edge on, which I didn't want to cover it. But you know how that is when that happens, right? Okay, I'm looking to see if I have another one that will work on this page that's different. And I do. Because there's, you know, I'm wanting to do the kind of pink and green, and I think I'll do a darker pink this time. And I'll cut it and then I'll tear it also. That way we have no problems. Maybe I'll just cut that with my scissors. Whoops. I'm telling you, I don't know if you guys have trouble with yours falling over. It'll hit the tip of something and it just flies right over. Drives me crazy. I'm going to line this one up in the corner. Okay, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Yay, I love that. Okay, now, let's see what we can put on here next. I'm looking in my big old stack and trashing little pieces that are just in my way. Okay, here is a cute little piece that we can put down in here. But maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it right here. I'm about at the point I'm going to have to change my paper where I'm trying to line this. We'll put the glue on these pieces. Okay, looking good so far. Now I want to see if I have any like pink papers in this stack. I know I had a few when I worked on the last one, and I don't think I put them back, but it looks like they're not in the stack now. Lovely. Ooh, I like this too. Let's see what we can do with this one. I want it to kind of fit snugly up against here, but I want to be able to see it too, so, let's see if that's going to be too much over the flowers. I don't want it to go too far over the flowers. Be surprised how thinly you can tear this stuff. Okay, okay, come on. Let's see. There we go. Well, I think we should go down this way. Okie doke. Put some glue on there. All right. There we go. Okay, looking good so far. I think we need some kind of green also. I'm digging in my box as we speak. I have this, but that's not really the green I want. Let me keep looking here. Here's some pink. Here's some pink and green. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just kind of digging on the surface here. Here's some pink. La, 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 la. Let's see. Where is the green? There's a little bit of green. Maybe that will work. And here is a more pale green. Okay. I think with that we might have enough. Let me see. Listen, my space to move around in around my desk because it feels like it gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Oh my word. Just smaller and smaller. Let's see. Okay. No, I don't want it. It's kind of funky shape, isn't it? Little more off of here. I'm trying to make this go a little faster than the last one I did. Yeah, that'd be better. But I need to tear down here so it doesn't hang over too much. Last time I made it straight around the window, and I think that just looks too perfect. So I'm going to try to make it a little bit different. All right. Come off of there. Oh, well, I guess it wants to stay, so it gets to. Okay. Yeah, I like that better, don't you? Having it a little messy around everything. Do a little bit of green here. This green has a little bit of a text on it. It's real light. You really can't see, but it does. Let's see. Maybe. There we go. Okay, now, what's next? Let's see what we've got that's next. Maybe we can do some of these little floral things. Little floral things. Let's see. Do we want it up here? You know what? I think I want it down here for the first part, and we can put it over here in this corner to fit, you know, to cover the corner. And then I can go back and cover the other part. Come on, paper. Get off of there. You know, well, I may have told you guys this before, but when I first started doing this, I was like, you know, what is the deal with collaging? You know, why does everybody want to do a collage? Well, now I know it's addictive, for one thing, and you just want to do it over and over. I mean, I think about it. When can I collage next? Isn't that crazy? I think that's crazy. And really, not something I would think I would get into. You know, I'm usually more into more challenging type things, but I like it. I don't know who started it. I really don't. I don't know who was the first one to do collaging. Does anybody out there know? Let me know if you do. Let's see. Need something for here and up here. I think that's too much green. I mean, too much pink. Trying to think of something we can put in there in place of it. There's a little bit of green. Let's just see what it looks like. I may not like it. You never know. This has green and pink on it, so yeah, that's good. That's close enough. Wow, it set down on my pen. Crazy thing. It kind of dominated the pink, didn't it? Makes the pink less important right there or something, which means I'm going to have to add a little something there. Somewhere. I don't know where. We'll see. I don't know. I may or may not like this, but I'm going for it. I try not to go over things more than necessary. But I just think those two green laying up next to each other is a little much. So we'll do something similar to that down here on the bottom. And I think I'm going to use this same pink because I like it. And it's thicker than some of the others. Okay. Alrighty. No, hold still. All right. Now, when you do your flap, I wouldn't do anything too thick, if you know what I mean, because I think it bulks up the area. So what I did was I did music sheet, but now thinking about it, okay, there's our front. I know I said I was going to do something similar down here. I don't know where I would do it. See, I did this straight right here. But I think that looks okay. It makes the window a different shape. So I used music sheet on here last time. But I also added music sheet in other areas, which made it kind of fit. But now I don't really have any. Let me see if I've got more of this one trim. I bet I don't have enough. I could put part of it on there and then add part of something else. So let's just do it and see what happens. So I kind of have stole the lace on this other side of this pink. I've kind of, it goes on the yellow, but I've kind of tore it and stolen it. Okay. Let's see. I want it to look, what I could do is go ahead and put something here and then let this overhang. That's what I'm going to do. But what are we going to put there? We could put something just white or some tea stain stuff or something, some kind of journal paper. Let's do this. Let's put some tea stain paper on there. Now, how I did it last time is I did it like I just laid this behind it, lined it up with the seam. Now, I guess you guys know this, but every time I feel like if you're going to collage on a page, you need to realize that the hinges will get weak. And when I say hinges, I mean like where your envelope folds, the crease, I guess is what I want to say, the crease right in here, and the edges gets a little weak. So you're better off to use a new envelope, not a tea-stained envelope, because this, see, it's already wanting to tear. If you look right there, see that? I'll have to operate on it. And see, and this is a brand new envelope. So you can imagine if it wasn't. Let me make sure I got this all cut just like it needs to be. See, that went on pretty good, didn't it? Let me tear this paper off. It's pretty sticky. Okay, so it goes this way, right? Forgot how I had it on there. And see, this is lots less weight, and I think it'll do better on the flap. And I may do it on both sides, and then just cover it with a few of your favorite prints or grids or text or whatever it is you decide you want to put on there. And if it overhangs at all, you just go back and trim. Like right here. Just trim that edge right there off. And if it hangs over, because you don't want it to hang over, because I already learned that that's not, it doesn't hold as well. Especially with the glue gun. I had to go back and add some regular glue on my last flap to keep it on. But see, that looks good even by itself. But we're gonna spice it up with some of Gail's trim, digital trim. Okay. I forgot to tear this one in. We don't want it straight. Okay, here we go. We're going to put it in the middle, right at the top. And see, then it hangs over, and I like that look of how it looks when it hangs over. I've got pieces sticking to my finger. See, I like that. Okay, now I'm going to just find some small pieces of pink to fit on there that's not too bulky or heavy and wide enough for me to tear. Let's see, which one do I want to use? There's a little bit of green. How about we do that? Put a little bit of green on one end. And we, you know, this is the thing. Now, you got to remember, you don't have to cover the whole thing because we have the coffee stain underneath. See right there? We can just trim this off and be done with it if we want. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, that's okay. Let me throw this in the trash. If I can get it to let go. Now let's see what other pink goodies we have. Okay. I don't think that's gonna look good. Let me get a piece that is along the edge. I think that'll look better. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. It's funny, I mean, you don't really have to have that many scraps to do this, okay? So if you're worried about whether or not you've been doing it long enough and have scraps, you don't have to, it's not going to take a lot of big pieces to do this. So you're pretty set as far as that goes. That looks all right. Looks all right. I'm trying to decide if I want to trim that off or leave it. See, I have a tendency to want to make it perfect. Oh, I didn't notice they were right together. Okay, we'll leave it there. Okay, now we are going to find that same piece of paper and hope that it's wide enough to go on this lower portion. I don't know if it's gonna be. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what we can get out of it, right? Okay, let's put that there and line it up. We are going to have a gray line that's going to be, let me see, I'm going to cut this off. We're going to have a gray line that's going to want to show, and that's why I put paper down in it last time, and I didn't end up liking the way that looked. So think about that. Let's see, this may not completely cover. It may not. Because of this top part has a perforation in it. It's, you know, old printer paper, or the edge of an old printer paper. But we'll glue that on too. So, all right, let's try this. All right. So line it up on your, along the fold line. That way you know you're pretty close to perfect there. Okay, now we're going to have to trim that part off. Which I'm going to have to trim that off now. Which I like it like that anyway. Don't laugh at me. I'm letting it hang over the window of the... And because I'm doing that, I feel like I've really stepped out of the box. Okay. So there's the flap. And if you fold it over, let me cut this right here. Okay. If you fold it over, you've got this look, and then this is that look. Now, that, you know, we have coffee stain paper in other places. So I'm just going to leave it like that for underneath. And yay, let's find us a picture to go inside. And then we can ink. And I'll show you how I do that. No, these are too light. So we want something with pink in it. And so I still have some of Mrs. Cog's images. Let's see. These are kind of prints that didn't print very well. Let's see what this rose looks like inside. Ooh, yeah. I think that's going to work. I put it in the other window, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know. The other one just seemed little girl-like. Now, it's not going to have, if I had have trimmed out the edges of the window, it would have, look. Let me turn it sideways. Can you guys see that? Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and throw some ink on here. And then we'll make a clip. Now, how I start out is around this way. I don't go like this because I don't want to lift up my glue. So I just start from the top down and kind of go over the edge as far as the outside goes. And that's the first thing I do. I'm not saying that it couldn't come off. You know, no control over that. See, it's already loosening right there. And that's one thing that worries me about collaging is that part. But what I do when I see it, I go back and I fill it in with some glue. Because I want it to stay, you know, for as long as it can. Okay, hopefully it doesn't smish out on the window. Just a little bit right there. Let me get that. Now that will hold better. I used my fine line tip. You can get these on Amazon or scrapbook.com. I know mine looks pretty bad. They're called fine line. I think maybe it's applicator. I'm not sure, but fine line something. And this is the standard tip, which is my favorite out of all of them. Okay. Let's go back to inking. Right here. When I make that motion, it kind of pulls on that one portion there. Okay, now, then I go against the, kind of against where they are torn and ink up toward them. And then whatever it inks along the way is fine too. I just like to get the little edges, like right there. See where it's white. And it's going to get ink all over, and I like the look, so it's fine. And I like it when you don't ink it. So either way, to me, looks good. So I get really lazy when it comes to inking, and I don't want to ink if I don't have to, but I do. So I'm going to ink along the edges of this flap right here. And I've got to come up with some way to fix the little crease in the little place there where it's wanting to. Let's see, I need to do up here too. Now see, the thing about that surprises me about using the glue gun, or the glue, the glue stick. Using the glue stick, I'm using a heavy amount because I don't want it to come loose. I mean, I'm really making sure it's covered. And at the same time, you know, it's still trying to loosen. And so just think if someone's using like Elmer's glue, you know, which we know is not as strong as this. So I would say to you, if you're going to collage paper like this, you need to do it with a heavier glue stick. A glue stick that will hold it down over time. You know, this isn't going to be down. Somebody's not going to have this forever. They'll enjoy it in their journal for a while. And then go from there. I got that so brown, I'm going to go ahead and just do it there. Yeah, I like that. Now, what I like to do is take some of my, this is the lace I like to use on the top of paper clips. And I'm thinking I usually do, thinking I cut 6 little sections, but can never remember. I know I end up trimming it down to that amount, and then I match up whatever kind of paper clip color will go with that, so we can use green or pink. I think pink, if I've got plenty, will be good. And if I don't have the color I need, then I just go on and use silver, or I'll use platinum, or I'll use let's see what the platinum looks like, or the rose gold, not platinum. That's the rose gold. And see, that looks pretty too. And just even laying this lace on here looks pretty. Maybe we will do that. You want to do that too? Maybe not on this one, but something to consider. Like even laying across the side right there looks pretty. Maybe we'll go up and then down, and it won't take it all the way down. But see, that one would cover our, I don't want it to cover my little digital. But I will do that. I'll do that at some point. And that way we'll have it look pretty good and look different. Maybe we'll do that on the next one. I don't know if we're going to have time. I'm going to have to look. We're already at 50 minutes, so we can't do another one today, but we can do them. Believe me, this is not going to go away anytime soon. And I am just really starting. So hopefully you don't mind seeing it again from a different perspective. I feel like everybody does it different, you know. And I'm not trying to mimic anybody. I'm just doing my own thing. But I do agree with Rachel at Roxy Creations as far as it goes regarding inking. I think it could go either. You could do either one. I'm going to put this one on the top. And kind of let it come down a little bit. Yeah. So there's the one we just made just now with the roses. And here is the other one. Both of them using Mrs. Cog's Pink in the Garden. She has a lot of really neat digital, beautiful digital kits. And so you need to go check it out over at her shop. And if my husband remembers, I'll try to remind him to link her below. Your images are beautiful, Mrs. Cog. I've not got to meet her. I haven't got to talk to her, so I don't know. I doubt seriously that she watches my videos, but if she does, they're beautiful. And so there we go. I have a couple other things up my sleeves for us to do, and hopefully you guys will enjoy those. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video today. I know you've seen a lot of people doing collaging, and I hope it's not boring to you. If it is, please tell me I've seen enough, and I'll try not to do it as often. Otherwise, I'm just now getting hooked on it. So, sorry, I was trying to get a drink. I was trying to start coughing again. I could feel it. All right. I will let you go. Hope you had fun in today's video. And I hope you enjoyed it enough that you could take a minute to give me a thumbs up. If I know it's somebody that I'm watching that I really enjoy, I'll just give them a thumbs up before the video starts, because I know what I can expect. And Gail is one of those that I do that with, because I want her to be able to let YouTube know, you know, what she's doing and how many people are enjoying her videos, and, you know, that, you know, for their records and information for them. So, if you could do that, I appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. We do all kinds of stuff. I mean, we're even gluing paper onto envelopes. I know I want to go over here and add another. I forgot to add a tag on here. Do I want to add it over there or over here? I want to add it on the back, because then it looks more envelope-like. Let me grab one real quick. Let's see what we've got. I want to order some from Roxy Creations, because I've heard hers are really pretty. So I am going to ink around this, since I've already done all the other inking. Although, just for the cut edge is really all I'm doing this for. And this can be your little label as far as Don't want to cover that part. Where do I want to put it? How about right there? Let me get my glue stick. You could even put stamps on here if you wanted to, you know, like some vintage stamps. Or if you are lucky enough to find some envelopes that already have stamps on them, that's even better. If they're vintage, that's even better. So, you know, there we go. Okay. So you guys have a good evening, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.